Hi guys, welcome to my world of fragrance. Today we are talking about fragrances that would make fabulous gifts that you could just grab while you're on the way en route to visit family or friends or what have you. These are fragrances that are available in most duty-free shops, and I think that they would make lovely gifts. You do not have to spend a ton of money on people to give a beautiful fragrant gift, I don't think anyways. And I don't have that kind of money to spend on other people either. These are fragrances that are under $100, accessible, you can find them in a lot of places, and they also smell great. The first fragrance that I would absolutely recommend as a gift is Chloé Nomade EDP. I have a preference for the EDP, but you could always try them side by side and see which one you like the most. I find that it's, a full-bodied fragrance. It's still a light fragrance. So this is a fruity floral fragrance. And what I have in mind for this is more of a younger woman. I think that this would make a beautiful gift for young women. Of course, if you have somebody else in mind and you try this and it would suit them, then by all means go for it. But this fragrance is light and youthful and pretty, and it starts off a bit zesty and then it goes into a more peachy fragrance that's combined with these beautiful white freesias, and it just reminds you of just a pretty spring day, you know? It's the kind of fragrance that I feel is one that there's just absolutely nothing in it that is cloying or annoying or screechy or offensive in any way. It's just a very pleasant scent. So every time that I spray this fragrance, I do think to myself, this would make a lovely gift for somebody. So I definitely would recommend this one. It's not a heavy-hitting fragrance. It just is one of those subtly pretty, youthful, happy fragrances, and it does have a little bit of character as well. Chloé creates fragrances that aren't just, boring. Like, Chloé fragrances have a little bit of character to them as well, so I find this one to be a really nice option for a gift. The next fragrance that I would recommend as a gift is, to me, a unisex fragrance. I would have no problem wearing this fragrance. I would have no problem for my partner to wear this fragrance. It is a spicy, elegant, also subtle fragrance. It is Déclaration by Cartier, and I prefer the EDP, I think it is, or the Parfum, but definitely the notch up to the EDT. And this is just a gorgeous, elegant, subtle fragrance that is spicy. So if you know someone who likes a fragrance that is a little bit more spicy, has some cardamom in there, smells pretty much like the holidays, suits this time of year, then I would absolutely recommend Déclaration to men or women. But if you want to be safe with it, then I would definitely say this is 100% one that you could gift to men. And I believe this is pretty widespread in duty-free shops. Even though this is a spicy fragrance, it's by no means overwhelmed. The ingredients are so well balanced out. You also have a leathery edge to this one as it dries down. So it really is a fragrance that I find to be interesting, elegant, all of the above. It just ticks all of the boxes for me. So Déclaration by Cartier, a beautiful, spicy fragrance. Because I find that Cartier is such an underrated brand, I think that in general, Cartier fragrances make such beautiful gifts. I mean, people love receiving Cartier jewelry, so why wouldn't you love receiving a Cartier fragrance? So I do have another option for somebody who perhaps isn't into the woody, spicy types of fragrances. We have a beautiful floral that is around the lily. This is a floral fragrance that is not sugared or anything, so I think that it would match a wide range of ages. So if you are trying to be safe with your Cartier choice and gift it to a woman, then I would definitely recommend Baiser Volé. I feel like this is the kind of fragrance that would also match a lot of women. So if you have somebody in mind who perhaps, again, isn't into the super bold perfumes, because I'm sure if they were, they would tell you what they would want as a perfume gift. But if they're not really super into perfumes but are, interested in maybe trying out some new things, then I think that this is a beautiful floral. And yeah, again, I love also the fact that when you receive a gift from Cartier, it feels like a gift, The bottle itself is beautiful. The presentation is all of it. It's the scent, first of all, but it's also the rest of it. So this is a great gift, and I think most people would be happy to receive this. Next, we have another unisex fragrance, and this fragrance is perfectly unisex, perfectly suitable for men and women alike. I personally enjoy this on a man so much, a bit too much. But this is a subtly spicy, elegant fragrance. We always go for elegance. And this one is by Hermes. It is called Voyage d'Hermès. It's like a syrup. It looks like a syrup. And this is also, again, about the overall packaging and everything. And Hermes fragrances always smell so elegant and classy. I love Hermes. They're probably, I've said this before, my favorite mass appealing commercial brand. And so you just can't go wrong with a gift from Hermes. But I feel like this one, because it is so down the line unisex, would make a great gift. It's one that both men would enjoy, both women would enjoy, and definitely try it out. I also feel like it doesn't get spoken about a lot, so I feel like it would be more of an element of a surprise type of gift, because you don't want to just give, you know, a gift that a person is used to getting. I feel like gift time is the time when you actually bring somebody something that they wouldn't have bought for themselves, and then that's when it's a nice, pleasant surprise. This fragrance starts off subtly lemony and spicy as well, and then you have this tea that's brewed into it, and I don't find this fragrance to be, again, it's not like sugared up or anything at all. It is all about the beautiful, simple ingredients. This was created by Jean-Claude, who I love the way that he creates fragrances, so subtle and pretty. I think that gifting a Jean-Claude fragrance is always a good thing. Like, because they're so inoffensive, how could you possibly be mad? I don't think anyone would be mad to receive this gift from you. It also has a woody character as it dries down, and I just find this fragrance so beautiful and inviting, and also unusual. It's an unusual take on these notes, but without being, you know, too out there. So unusual but inoffensive. So the next fragrance is for personality who you pretty much know would enjoy a white floral fragrance. And when it comes to duty-free and fragrances that are, you know, commercial and widespread, I find that Gucci does amazing white floral fragrances in their Bloom line. So since this person probably already knows the original Gucci, I would recommend going for the Nettare di Fiori. It is just a tad more complex. It has the signature tuberose and jasmine that is in Gucci Bloom, but then it's also enhanced with some other florals. You have some honeysuckle in there, you have some osmanthus, which adds this sort of floral spicy character, and then you have a little bit of patchouli injected in there as well. I find that Nettare di Fiori is a nice alternative for somebody who would already like the Gucci Bloom. I love this range. Like, I feel like out there when it comes to affordable perfumes, well, I guess it's debatable if they're affordable or not, but I think that this is a really great range. So definitely check out the range in general, but I would go for the Nettare di Fiori for something a little bit different. Maybe they would have already gotten Gucci Bloom from somebody else, or maybe they already have it, so check that one out. The next fragrance, I'm sure that some of you who are also born in the 90s may, you know, have some sort of experience with, have smelled this one before around, but for me, I have a weak spot for this fragrance, and I would always think of this if I were to gift a fragrance to a younger man, like a teenage boy to like early 20s. I would have no problem gifting this fragrance, and it is Acqua di Gio by Giorgio Armani. Like I said, I have a weak spot for this fragrance. I feel like young men or teenage boys wearing this just smell so good. It's an inoffensive fragrance. It's a marine-like citrus fragrance, and it just has those notes that I feel that young men like. Like, it smells quote unquote manly, but it's fun. It's summertime parties. It's just this kind of character that every young man wants to be, like outgoing, charming, fun. I feel this playful sweetness, fruity sweetness in this one. I feel the peach note come out a lot in this fragrance, and it's just one that I don't know, like, I have good memories with this fragrance. And okay, I'm not trying to insinuate too much, but I just really like this fragrance. For a younger man, I would always recommend this one, and I have yet to meet someone who I think dislikes this, like a young man who dislikes this fragrance, I think that it's a good, safe choice. I don't see it talked about as much as perhaps other more obvious choices because it is one that was released in '96. So I feel like it's a fragrance that people have moved on from and then maybe have forgotten a little bit, but it's a nice, refreshing, citrusy fragrance that is just like one of those signature scent fragrances for a young man. So the next fragrance that I would recommend is not for a younger man. This is for a maybe 25 plus man or woman who really knows her taste, who likes bolder fragrances perhaps, and it is Dior Homme Intense, the one and only. If you can't find Dior Homme Intense, then Dior Homme Parfum will do as well, but I just prefer Dior Homme Intense. It's more unisex as well because it has a beautiful iris note that comes out and shines, and it smells lush. It smells cosmetic-y, complex. It's slightly powdery, the way a makeup compact that your glamorous family member would take out and you would smell that. You know, it smells like that, but so much more. It's also grounded by some cedar wood, and there's a little bit of vetiver in there. The EDT has more vetiver in there that you notice, so hence why this one is the most unisex option out of all of them. But I would have no problem recommending this to a classy gentleman that you would like to give a gift to. And yeah, this is if you like somebody, you give them this. This fragrance smells dressed up, but I wouldn't mind smelling this like daytime. But I think most people would see this as like a special occasion fragrance. And yeah, check it out. Now the last fragrance is another outstanding unisex fragrance that hopefully you could also find duty-free, and it is Chanel's Egoiste. This one is so on trend. Like, even though it was created in 1990, this fragrance is now on trend in the way that it is a dry sandalwood. Think Santal 33 by Le Labo, think Tam Dao by Diptyque. Anyone who you would envision would wear any of those two fragrances. Santal Blush by Tom Ford. Anyone who you would envision would like those high-end fragrances or slightly higher price tag fragrances would absolutely enjoy Egoiste as well. Egoiste is neutral, is not sweet. It is a sandalwood that has some warmth to it, some cinnamony nuances, and then dries down with a very safe tobacco. It's not a tobacco scent per se, and ambery touches as well. This is just a marvelous fragrance, and I would recommend this to if you are gifting a mature gentleman, or if you are gifting a trendy person, a person who is chic and stylish, whether it's a man or a woman, and they, you know, they don't mind smelling kind of, you know, unisex and cool. This is a fragrance that, yeah, I would be happy to receive Egoiste for Christmas, okay? And all of the other fragrances for that matter. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video with my suggestions for fragrances that you could find under $100 in duty-free shops. Yeah, I really enjoyed making this video for you. Let me know your feedback down below, what you think about these fragrances, and what are you gifting to other people for Christmas if you are gifting anyone anything. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!